Welcome to another Saturday night and taking it to the nub. I'm your host, Boston Jimmy, and this is my co-host, Q, otherwise known as Quinton Brown. Quinton just came back from a fabulous event at the Carnegie Club. We'll talk about that a little later in the show if we got some time. Quinton, while you were out having fun, I was making sure we brought in our new guest, the owner of Olivan Cigars, Rodriguez Olivan Cigars, and his name is Ismael Olivan. Do you know Ismael?
I do not know Ismael.
Okay. A lot of people may not know Ismael, but after tonight, I hope a lot of people know about Ismael. So we're going to bring Ismael in. Just a moment. Ismael, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. How are you guys doing?
Not bad. Having a nice, you could see I've got a different backdrop tonight, everybody. I'm sitting at my daughter's house here in Jacksonville, Florida, and enjoying a nice sunset. It's been a beautiful day. I got the palm trees behind me, and the pool, which I don't have. So let's make it look good, right? How about
Absolutely.
you? How about you? Where are you coming in from today?
No, good. Over here right now is not as good like I see it in Jacksonville. Over here is getting dark soon. I don't know why. Down in Royal Palm Beach, Florida. And it was raining kind of hard for a while and now it stops. But not too bad, not too bad. Weather is good except for that rain, but it's Florida, you know. You don't like the weather,
yeah.
just minutes.
Wait a minute. The weather will change, right?
Absolutely, yes.
And Q, where are you calling in now today from? Did you make it home?
I did. I am calling you from bright, sunny Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right.
I am out here enjoying 80-degree weather. Feels good. Far cry from New York this past week. It was about 40 and windy, so I'm happy to be back down south.
Nice.
So a lot of people don't necessarily know Ismael, but everybody that does know Ismael tells me this is one of the most underrated brand of cigars that are on the market. Until you have them, you don't understand that comment. Let's just start real easy. How long have you been in the cigar business?
Well, smoking it for many, many years, 35. Cigar businesses, I've been since 03, but really, when it took a little off is when 2015, when I was mostly sick and tired of have to wait for the cigars to come, or you know, it's always a problem and this and that. So I just decided to have my own factory. And since then, so 7 years back, is when everything started to go a little, higher for me. And not only that, not like what I did, it was take my imported license as well. So like this is like a one guy band. So we do we are the factory, we are the exporters, we the importers, and we sell online, we sell in some stores, not many because I didn't have the time really to go around. People calling me and I didn't have the time to go. So this year, yes, this year we are gonna be many places out there, that's for sure.
So was it your first cigar that you call Banff?
Yes, that's the first line of cigars.
So badass motherfucking cigars.
Yes, sir.
Pretty bold statement, especially introducing a new cigar right as the FDA says we want to put a clamp down.
Yep.
What gives you such big castañas?
Well, it's because why not? It's when we opened this in 2015, I have a partner. Now it's by myself, but I have a partner, and he's an ex-Marine or former Marine, and a SWAT team deputy, city deputy over here in Palm Beach. And I come from the Army and a police as well, police instructor. So we just came with the name. Why, we both of us, law enforcement, both of us, military people. Why we don't go and one of us will say Banff and the other guy say badass motherfucking cigars, and boom, that happened at 2:30 in the morning in a break of a patrol. So we came with the name.
And the accent that I hear is
Uh-huh.
it's Spanish. Is it true Spanish? Were you born in Spain?
I was born and raised in Spain, yes. I came to the States in 1999 and I still have this accent. It will never go away. So, and sometimes people tell me, hey, slow down because you Spaniards, you talk too fast. So when obviously English is not my first language. So sometimes I go blah, 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 like a slow down. Now we get, yeah, slow down. I'm from Spain, born and raised North Spain in the Basque Country.
They should go to like London, England, and listen to how English people speak English, because they don't slow down either. Anybody in Europe speaks very, very fast. I don't care if you're English. I don't care if you're Polish. I don't care who you are. You have a very, very fast dialect. And we do too in the United States, whether we like it or not. You go to places like New York and it's just like they just rattle it off.
Yeah, like locomotor.
Yeah.
Yes, so, it's true.
So you have to learn to appreciate the languages.
Absolutely.
Now, what made you want to you were a in the Spanish Army, and eventually was part of an anti-terrorist unit.
Yes.
International police and military instructor. What made you leave all of that and come here to the States? What was the drive?
It was many years doing the same thing. And I said, you know what, let's try something different. And theoretically, I was supposed to come here only for 3 months kind of vacation, because I didn't have a vacation in almost 20 years. So I came, I like it. And I stay. I still doing, I can do my work from wherever I am. So, and then I got bored. So I said, you know what, let's do something else. And I opened a construction business and then the cigar business. And I like it. I became a resident. Then because I was not married, it took me 5 years to become a citizen. I became a citizen and I like it. I stay, bought a house, and here I am, happy with my wife.
There you go. And now you have how many brand lines do you have under the umbrella of Rodriguez Olivan and Brown?
Mine's is just 3, but I do other 67. Now, as a matter of fact, it's 2 new ones. So total is 72.
So you do a lot of small batch brands.
Yeah, for different people, yes. Yes, I do cigars for many different people.
Okay. And where it's in the DR you are located?
It's in Tamboril. Yes, Tamboril.
Tamboril, yeah, Tamboril.
And then we have a sister factory in Zimbabwe, in Africa.
Oh, very nice. So now, do you also have farms, or are you sourcing leaf?
No, I just for now we just buy it, but we have the land now that we will start to do the farming. But until now, it was just buying. I have lucky enough to have 3 very good distributors, you want to call it that, of tobacco, that they never sort of it. And one of them is from Spain, even if they live in Dominican Republic. So we have a good contact. So whatever I need, he has, and this guy has, I don't even know how much tobacco he has. So it was just lucky, being from Spain, go to the DR and find another guy, another Spaniard, that he does what I need to make my cigars. So the connection was right in there, and that's how we will be doing. But yes, we are looking to buy some farms. As a matter of fact, after the show, we are going to talk with another person who just opened about 10 minutes from my house, a lounge, and he has 8 acres that he wants me to do farm for my cigars over there. So we will be doing that this coming year.
The having connections in factories in South Africa, how easy is it for you to get your hands on things like Cameroon versus others?
Well, having a sister company over there, it makes everything easier, that's for sure. Because before, every time that I want to do African cigar, the problem is that they don't sell to you just the leaves. Okay? So they don't do the harvest like you do the harvest in Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Honduras, Salvador, wherever you want, Guatemala, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, they don't do that. What they do, they just literally chop the plant, fermentate the whole plant. And when you buy, you cannot say, send me, I don't know, they go by kilos as well. So send me 100 kilos or 220 pounds of a ligero. They send you the whole plant.
The whole plant.
The whole plant.
Do they
Fermentate.
dry it? They
just fermentate it. So everything, the process is done. They send to you, and now you need to do the harvest on the fermented plant by yourself. So it was kind of expensive because a lot of the plant is just weight, and they charge you by the weight, not by the plant, not by the leaf. So now, yes, now if I need, I don't know, say 1,000 pounds of ligero or 14,000, whatever you need, now it comes already, yes, classified. And if I want the ligero, I want the seco, I want whatever I want. It's a good advantage now compared with before. Yeah.
So this one I'm smoking today, this is one of your lines. This is the Don Olivan.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to me about this cigar. What is this?
That cigar, as a matter of fact, talking about Africa, that's a pure African cigar. I have two. The one that you're smoking is a 60 by 6, it's a quarter, but it is only from Cameroon is the wrapper. Everything else, from the fillet to the binder, it comes from Angola, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe.
It's a very dark Cameroon.
Yes, yes.
Got a nice sweetness, though, behind the scenes on this.
It's because we used to just to see the typical Cameroon that people put out, big names, and they pick up the nicest color, the best of the best, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to do the same thing. Those figures are already there. So what I do is totally different things. My one day, it can match the colors of the wrapper or whatever, but I don't play with the wrappers. We don't do classification of the wrappers. It's a plan. You have what it is, that's it. So we just utilize every single thing.
Color is the color at that batch. And
yes.
But
and it's what it is. I will not play, there is people that do some things to the wrappers and they look the same, or you just have 2 or 3 people doing classification, until they go blind. Just, this one is satellite, this one. We don't do that. We know where it's coming from. We roll ourselves. You can find in a box or in a bundle 5 a little darker, 10 a little lighter, another 5 or whatever. That's the matter. It's the same tobacco, and it goes there.
do you have your line of cigars in front of you?
Well, I have the humidor, but I have about 70 or 80 different of them. Yeah, I can show you
Just
some.
trying to like go through some of your line for the viewers to kind of let them see what your craft would have. Send Joey around to do that for you.
He just did it. He just and then the light's right behind you, Joey. Yeah.
So my question is, obviously, when we speak about Nicaraguan tobacco, Dominican tobacco, people are somewhat familiar with the lay of the land per se. What is the lay of the land from a topography standpoint of Mozambique and some of these places that you're curating your cigars from?
Well, what it is, it's a huge advantage that the whole Africa has. First of all, is the most fertile land in earth. Okay, I'm not talking that is the more rich in soil, but it's the most fertile. Whatever you put is gonna grow yes or yes. And you don't have to do, like, for instance, Nicaragua, maybe this season, they put just the tobacco, the harvest, and you have two choices. You can leave just the land, breathe out itself, or you just plant something else. They plant peppers. Okay, you go to Cuba, today is tobacco, the next day, after the harvest is corn. Over there, they don't do that. They just put the tobacco today, they harvest, they don't do nothing in that. Just leave it alone and move and keep moving. It's so huge and they have so much that you never end. Maybe by the time that you go one rotation, I would be already 120 years if I was alive. You know, so you don't need to do that. So that's a big advantage that they had that we don't. And here comes the rain. I don't know you guys can
That's
hear
awesome. No, I mean that's to me like that's a quite a stark contrast to how you hear, like you pointed out, when you start talking about people growing Dominican tobacco and Nicaraguan tobacco and even San Andreas for those, they rotate their crops out. So like you just pointed out, so the fact that they're just literally moving over from one field to the next and harvesting the tobacco that way is very interesting to hear that.
He just brought a few of them. This one is from Banff. Probably I will have, I don't know, you can see it. If not, you know what? Let me take my background because if not, I'm gonna disappear.
Yeah, I have that problem too when I do the
Let me just disappear. Boom, there we go.
There we go.
Now let me close this. Yeah. So here's, for instance, is a green tip. Green tip is like a denomination from Banff, but it's a barbecue. We have 4 of these. So we have the green tip, Connecticut, Havana, and Maduro. And in these cigars, in this line of cigars, everything is just the seed, not the leaf per se, is a Cuban. Everything is Cuban seed. And we use a lot of Seco Piloto Cubano in this line.
Now that Banff, the Banff line, the packaging of that pays tribute to first responders, to military, things like that.
Yes, and we have. I don't know if he's gonna find it or no, but I show you some of the boxes. Then, for instance, we have in the same line, because you're talking about badass motherfucking cigars, so most of veterans or whatever, they were kind of heroes anyways. So we did a superhero line. That's the Superman over there.
Oh, look at that.
We have Batman over here. We have the Punisher. You know what? Let me take it out because inside you can almost not see it.
These are amazing looking cigars. Look at this.
That's amazing. I do like that.
Wow.
Yeah. Everything is done by hand, and then we just use, like a little quarters, just to glue the different wrapper into the wrapper.
Right.
So
You
it's
do the appliques you're putting on.
Yeah. So it takes forever. So probably we can only do 20 cigars of this a day because, like I said, you not even with cheaters, you can keep doing this. It's impossible. You go blind doing these things. It's too much. And then, for instance, in this particular one, you take one of the, I call it teeth, somebody called beer or whatever, but you just break one of them. Now you have to start over. So it takes a lot of time. It's fun to do it. It's fun to do it. Then we have a mix with African and Irish tobacco that we did for St. Patrick's Day. Let me take it out.
And you said African, Irish?
And Irish. Yeah.
Oh, look at it. There you go. That's a perfect St. Patty's Day cigar, huh?
Yeah. Which most people, they didn't know, they didn't realize, or they never thought about it, that it is tobacco growing in Ireland, but the weather is pretty bad. So, but they say, if you can hold the weather, only the strongest survive. And whatever you have is amazing, amazing, amazing. As a matter of fact, talking over here with Joey, is one of his favorite blends is with Irish tobacco. The only difference is that the leaf, instead to be, for instance, 24 inches, maybe you go 60 inches, maybe 15 inches, so it's not a big leaf, but it makes the trick. It's very good.
So you use that for filler?
Yeah, and the filler, on the filler.
In the filler.
Yeah.
Right. What is the characteristic? What would you describe the characteristic of
it's very unique. It's very unique. So it is kind of the spices, sweet. Yeah. The sweets are in Irish. Oh yeah. Oh, I thought that. So the sweet. Yeah. He was saying that it's very sweet. It is sweet. The Irish tobacco. At the same time, it has a spicy on it. It's kind of weird. It's like when you have these gummy bears that they like a sour, but they very sweet.
Right.
So it's how it goes. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. It's very, very good cigar. Very good leaves. I like it. But
Now,
again,
can that be overpowering in the blend? You have to be careful with how much of that leaf you put in a blend.
not really. Well, in this one, because it's a big one, it's a Salomon, this one has 1.5 leaves. But
Okay.
if you are gonna do it, for instance, in this one, the Gavillero or
No.
Cowboy, this has not even a wrapper. It's just, a cigar that you just pick it up and you have a meeting to go, or you're driving and you have to go to work, you just put it down and that's it. It's not, like a big cigar for 2 hours. And in this one, probably it's only about half leaf on it, I put, of the Irish tobacco. But yeah, it's you will know. As soon as you smoke it, you will know that it's no, you say, this is not from Nicaragua. This is not from Costa Rica. This is not from Dominica. What the heck is this from? And people never think about Ireland because most people don't even believe that Ireland has tobacco. People think about just the pipe tobacco that they have. Well, honestly, it's just one family doing that in the whole island, but it's very good tobacco like it. Now, use as a binder and fill it as a wrapper. Happen like the Italians. Italians, they have good fillers, maybe good binder, but as a wrapper, they cannot save their lives with that. It's very tough, very rough, very heavy. You cannot use that for a wrapper.
Well, it's kind of like a broadleaf, right?
Yes, yes. Then we have another one from Don Olivan, like the one you're smoking, Jimmy. We call this one the rope. Just because we put a rope around.
Oh, like
And in
the
this
Amazon
one-
Basin guys did.
Well, we did it about 2 years prior that they did.
Really?
And
For you.
it's funny because somebody posts one of these. I say, oh, that's a copy of the Anaconda, because Anaconda comes, well, this one it has on top as well. Let me take the band. You see, you have it over here. And then it keeps going down, 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 down.
Right.
Like, and then we have, for instance, in the one that I am smoking, the bar wire, it has all of it. So we do a lot of these designs. So it doesn't get too bored. But we like to do that. Then this one, for instance, is the Intercontinental. One of my favorite cigars from the Olivan as well. It's 5 countries, 4 continents. So I love it. Then he put over here another green tip. This one you will see the green tip better because it's just Maduro. So the green tip comes from the ammunition for the 556. So what we do, it's a 52 ring gauge, but instead to be 6 inches like a normal torpedo, or Cuban, they do 6 1/8. We do 5.56 inches, just like the ammunition name. It's kind of like then that I'm out of them, even believe it or not, I have like 14, 15,000 cigars here, and out of that is the 12 gauge. So it's just like a bullet, like a
shotgun, like a shotgun.
Yeah, like a shotgun. Then you have one that he just bring over here. Is the Morgue, which is the mother of all cigars. Remember the bump? The Morgue, mother of all bumps. Okay, so we have the Morgue, mother of all cigars, and it is 110 by 12 inches. So literally, it goes down.
Wow.
And yes, before you ask, it doesn't come with batteries. No, it does not. You have to buy it separately.
So what does that Moac cost?
$50. It's
That's
$50.
That's $50 cigar. Now there's $50 worth of cigar right there.
Well,
Oh,
this is about
absolutely.
20 cigars. So obviously, yes, it's like with the box is a pound of tobacco. So yeah, you can make a good 20 cigars with this. Look, compare with the Salomon. And the Salomon is a
Somebody's
57
got
by
a
7 and a
problem.
quarter.
Somebody's got a problem.
So, this is the cigar that, you start in, I don't know, in Christmas, and maybe you're lucky, you finish by New Year's. So it's a 1 year cigar, it takes you about
How
Depends
many
how
of
fast
those
you
have
want.
you sold?
A lot. I have just one client in California. He buys a couple of them every month. I said, what the hell are you doing with them? And he just cut it in half and smoke one in the morning, then another one in the afternoon. And most people really, they got it to have in their office or whatever, just like a conversation piece per se.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then.
So,
Say
but that
that
is
again?
completely smokable. That is not.
Oh, yes. No. You smoke the cigar.
Well rolled and bunched and
Everything. It press. This one, for instance, I do home. So the one that you see with the wrapper, surround wrapper, I do it home. And I don't have them all home. The ones at the factory, they come already,
yeah.
already pressed and with nothing. Over here, only way I can do it is just 2 tons of surround wrap and pray for the best.
So you
Because
created.
It's a lot. This is a monster cigar. So
You created your own mold and everything for that.
yes, it's a special
Obviously.
one. Then he just brought over here this little guy over here. I know that's another one. It's another dog. But this is my dog, Vasco, and this is for K9 cigars. This one, and I don't know if she's gonna bring the other ones. These ones, for instance, it's a Robusto. You will see that it's different. The label, instead to say Don Olivan, it says R.O.C.F. That one,
Yes.
I didn't put my last name. I'm call it Don Olivan, like the one that you're smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I just put the factory logo. But I don't want to get people confused between the factory and the name. So I just changed the bands and called Don Olivan, even though they are in R.O.C.F. Rodriguez Olivan Cigar Factory made. But this, I have, the K9 is 9 cigars, and it's 4 of them are my dogs. One is this one over here, Nesca, that is, I don't know what she's doing. The other one is Vasco, which is this guy. This is Vasco. And we have another 7 more. But yeah, it's in the K9 it's only 9 cigars. In the Olivan probably is about 20-something cigars out. We have more, and in Banff is about 20-something cigars as well. So
Now, is the K9 set up? Is that a program where you're donating money to support the K9?
Well, I do all the support that we do is with the Banff. This K9 it was just for because my wife almost killed me. So what happened about 7 years back? She told me, "Honey, why you don't do something with a dog's theme?" So yeah, I can, cigar is a little more, it's a little more serious, blah, blah, blah. But then every time that I walk my dogs, I see people walking the dogs smoking the cigar. So fuck, maybe she is right, And all of a sudden, a friend of mine from Ohio, he told me, "Hey, what about if we do, a K9 line?" I say, "Okay." She almost caused me the divorce. She said, "I've been for the longest time telling you, you say no. Then a friend of you call you and you say yes." I said, "Okay." So that's where it came. But the donations, everything is go for the K9. Even if it's police or military, will go with Banff because it's a different entity. It's the same theme that the Rodriguez Olivan Cigar Factory, but it's their own LLC. And in K9, I put the K9, the Don Olivan, all the other that I do for different people, and register everything under that. Plus, is the importer as well. So my importer license I do with the K9 as well. So, but yeah, it's a few.
Let me take a quick break here. I'm going to shout out the sponsors of the show, and then when we come back, we'll dig into some more of Rodriguez Olivan Cigars and Factory and what you're doing with shops here in the United States.
You got it.
So today's show is brought to you by Rodriguez Cigars of Key West. Rodriguez Cigars, 1947, began the masterful art of cultivating tobacco on their private plantation in the town of Siguane, Cuba. By 1952, La Finca Carmencita employed over 20 workers and grew over 120,000 pounds of tobacco annually. 8 years later, the Cuban government nationalized the private plantation, and the Rodriguez family was forced to immigrate to the United States. In 1971, the family found a new beginning on the beautiful island of Key West and established the Rodriguez Cigar Factory in 1984. It stands as the oldest cigar manufacturer in the Florida Keys, preserving a historical cigar manufacturing industry that began in Key West in 1831. Of course, as years pass, new generations of family members have expanded manufacturing operations to Nicaragua, and they're proud to be working with some of the finest tobaccos in the world. Rodriguez cigars are exclusively constructed with vintage leaves that have been hand-selected, aged, and constructed through the traditional Cuban manufacturing process. If you've never been to Rodriguez Cigars in Key West, if you're ever down there, I highly recommend it. And while you're there, take the cigar tour. $15. You can learn all about cigars, and you get to roll your own cigar as a walkaway. Today's show is also brought to you by Drew Estate.
Get ready, because Drew Estate is back and better than ever, with a party so big that only the Lone Star State can contain it. Music, spirits, mouth-watering barbecue, cigars galore, and so much more. It'll be the most epic shindig there ever was. Barn Smoker presents Savage Feast, October 22nd at the South Fork Ranch, Dallas, Texas. Get your tickets now at barnsmoker.com.
Got to get them tickets, boys and girls, because they're selling. And I'll be at the Florida Barn Smoker next week. Or 2 weeks, I should say. I'll be also at the Connecticut Barn Smoker later in the year, and I'm hopefully going to that Savage Feast in Dallas. So big times for Drew Estate this year. Today's show is also brought to you by, Cigar Medics.
Before you light your next cigar, be sure to check out Cigar Medics, the makers of the patent-approved humidimeter. The humidimeter is a tool designed to display the relative humidity inside your cigar. With this device, there's no more guessing. Simply insert the probes into the foot or cap of your cigar, and you can instantly know if your cigar is ready to be smoked. Buy now on cigarmedics.com and see site for other cigar accessories. With the humidimeter, you'll know when to hold them and know when to smoke them.
Great device. If you've never saw this, please try to get one for yourself. You'll thank me for it. Today's show is also brought to you by our friends over at the Cigar Clowns. Cigar Clowns is a Facebook group that invite all to come along a journey with them to find the perfect cigar. If you're lucky enough to get your hands on one of their limited releases, you know what's up. And if you haven't had a chance, stay tuned to the Cigar Clowns Facebook page. And when a run drops, they do go very quickly. They have good conversation, great people. They love smoking cigars. So they want to welcome all brothers and sisters of the Leaf who share the same love as they do for cigars to join them on the Cigar Clowns and go on their journey to find the perfect cigar. And lastly, today's show is brought to you by Platinum Nova Cigars. Platinum Nova Cigars is a family-owned and operated premium cigar company. Only the highest vintage tobacco and the most skilled hand workmanship go into the making of each Platinum Nova cigar, resulting in a timeless blend of art and craftsmanship. The Nova brand and the family's work are a tribute and an honor to their grandfather to always remember him and his infinite passion for the finest cigars. Their love for cigars started with their grandfather, a dedicated master blender and entrepreneur in the cigar industry. So the next time you're looking for the exquisite cigar experience, pick up a Platinum Nova. You can check them out at Platinum Nova Cigars at www.novacigar.com and on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I want to thank my sponsors, for without them, this show is always a little harder to do. Let's get back to Ismael. So you got this brand, been doing this since 2015. And wow, you're smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, I smoke both.
You've
Cigar
been
and
smoking
cigar.
cigarettes since you were 14 years old, I understand.
Yes, and cigars since I was 15. Well, 14, I started with my father, but it wasn't a very good experience.
That shit's gonna kill you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, so you get this show you got this thing going for the last 7 years. How many shops have you found yourself in now in the States?
As a matter of fact, bless you. As a matter of fact, to be honest with you, I started most like a hobby. I'm making cigars for different people. I used to do no anymore for a well-known person over 900,000 cigars per month, just for one person. And mine was just online, and today's day is online almost based. Until 2 years back, a good friend of mine, Chris Patterson, for Vintage Havana up in California, he told me, "Hey man, why you don't go literally out of the closet, you know, and with your cigars, because they're so good and people don't know about it unless that they know you and they buy online." So we had a few in, I don't even know the number, in California, and 2 new ones in California as well. We are in Nevada. In Florida, as a matter of fact, that is where I live. We were at the Small King, but it was when my partner was with me. Then the guy that had the account, he was not working anymore over there. And I just let it go. I didn't do anything. It was not my client. It was my partner. Now that it's 100% my business, now I will go start to do things, you know. But we in Nebraska as well, but not many stores, to be honest. Now we are going to go after the show to one that they just opened and they want me there. And it's going to be a few. It's going to be a few. I have already a few lined up, but you can buy it today? No. Maybe next week, yes, but today, not many, really.
All right. So we need to help you expand that line because I think these need to be in more shops. By the way, Lou Piscatelli, one of your most loyal fans, I could tell you that because he talks about you all the time. And every time I see him, he's on the phone with you. So he says that Moac is absolutely smokable. It's not a joke. It's not a publicity stunt. That thing actually smokes it. He smoked that whole cigar. So yeah, so there you go. I'll take it from Lou. Lou knows cigars, so I'll trust Lou's judgment on that one.
It's gonna take you 4.5 hours all the way to 6, depends how fast you smoke. But yes,
we need to start a line for Lou, and we're gonna use Lou. He's just like you. He smokes cigars too.
There you go with the slogan and everything.
There we go.
There could be a copyright infringement on that with that lawyer.
You never know. You never know, that's for sure. But yeah.
So what do you got up your sleeve in the future now?
Well, we are coming with another place that most people don't know that they do tobacco, and it's gonna be a release for Halloween. I don't know how many I'm gonna make. Could be 200 coffins, could be 500 coffins. I don't know. It's gonna be coffin humidor for 20 count, and it's gonna be in the blend. It's gonna be Transylvania tobacco on it, and it's gonna be called the Blood of Dracula, because Transylvania is, you know, where Dracula theoretically was and all of that. And it's a Transylvania tobacco, which is very good as a matter of fact. And that's one thing is coming in October. Before that, is coming a couple of cigars. One of them that I never did before. I did for another people, but not for my lines. It will be the first time I'm gonna do Lancero, just to try because everybody, Ish, you don't have a Lancero. Hey, Ish, you don't have a. I said, man, it's many cigars. Can you pick up another one? No, we want a Lancero. I said, okay. So I'm making that probably by next month.
So you have a good pair of rollers that can make Lanceros?
Oh yeah. We make tons of them, but not for us, for different companies. So Lancero is one of the toughest, the toughest to make cigar. It's one of the toughest.
It is. And this is tough too.
Yeah. But Lancero is tough mostly because probably it's the only cigar in which you can tell that the wrapper it takes a good part of the flavor of the cigar,
Sure.
because it's almost the same wrapper that the rest of the leaves in there, and it's hard to roll. It's hard, that's for sure.
Yeah, the old adage that said 70% of the flavor comes from the wrapper. I would always tell people that is very true in a Corona or a Lancero.
Lancero.
You know,
Yeah,
but
but
when you get into this ring
Yeah.
gauges, that's not the truth.
No, that is probably in that cigar that you're smoking right now, you're talking about between a 6 to 8% period. That's it.
Mhm.
It's no more than that. But still people thinking that the wrapper, and I always explain the same thing to people. I say, you mine a cigar as a car. You have the chassis, you have the engine, and then you have the color per se. So the wrapper is only the color in the car. The color is not gonna give you more horsepower, more speed, better brakes, or better nothing. It's gonna give you the look. And that's more or less how I explain to people a cigar so they can compare with a car. Yeah, it's very nice, but all those aromas and all that thing when you're retrohale and all of that is not coming from the wrapper at all, unless it is a Lancero, a Petit Corona, things like that, yes. Otherwise, no.
Oh, very, very true. Very, very true. What would you say your hardest blend to have created was to get it right?
Well, the pure African, and that was difficult to create just for one reason, because it's pure African. So everything, the first one, it was everything on Cameroon. So it's not the way to do it.
Right.
But because nobody, including myself, ever smoked a pure African, it took me forever to have those notes, because in every cigar that you smoke, it's gonna come like a people call it, leather. It's gonna come oak. It's gonna come earth. It's gonna come grassiness. It's gonna come whatever. In the African tobacco, you don't have those notes, so you don't know what it is. So it took a little while to put the mix together to see how we play. We are gonna put 2 Lisol Ligero. We are gonna put 2.5. We are gonna put 1 Seco. We are gonna use maybe a little. We mix with a little Piloto. We use with a little. It was kind of hard. But probably the hardest one is the Intercontinental, because you have, 5 countries tobacco in this.
Wow.
You have, so, and to have it done right, it was kind of oof.
So what countries are in the Intercontinental?
You have Italy, you have Africa, you have Nicaragua, you have Dominican Republic, and you have Mexico.
Okay.
As well.
Now, have you done any work using American tobacco?
The only thing with the wrapper from
Connecticut.
Yeah, from Connecticut.
Okay.
And probably Pennsylvania and obviously Connecticut. But on the fillers or binders, no, I did not. No.
Q, questions? Q always.
I just like I like the amount of detail that he puts into the thought of the wrapper and the cigar combined. For example, he's been mentioning the Transylvania, where he's going to call it the blood of Dracula. Am I correct in saying that?
That's correct. Yes.
That's awesome that you're tying the two, because I think that what makes a cigar memorable, especially as somebody who has worked in a lounge environment before, is that if a cigar can tell a story, it's very, very easy to sell a cigar when there's a story behind it. It's very, very hard to sell a cigar and there's no backstory to it. There's no nothing. Or if the backstory is very, very plain Jane, it kind of gets lost in the rotation of everything else. But if you can say, hey, this one's called the blood of Dracula, it has a Transylvanian wrapper on it, people are more likely to try that just because it's interesting and people know about Dracula.
Yes. It's because I think, and you're totally correct, I think that everyone can come with a name. But if I'm gonna call, the Irishman, or people can call it the Sandrock, whatever they call, but in my line it's called the Irishman, it will not make any sense to have the Irishman cigar. It has no Irish tobacco on it. What are you gonna call it the Irishman? Doesn't make any sense, Or I'm gonna call it pure African, and everything is for Dominican Republic. Well, doesn't make any sense, you know. So and most people are always married to where they come from. You are not gonna pick up all the big names, you know. In Nicaragua, they will use Nicaraguan. The big names for Dominica, they will use Dominican. And the ones from Costa Rica, I will use Costa Rican. But again, it's because that's the roots, that's where they grow up, that's what they know, and they're proud of that. In my case, I'm from Spain, living in the United States, American citizen, married with a Trinidadian. I have a bully from England, and I have a pug from China. So why don't mix everything together? You know, sometimes it's better. So that's what I do with the cigars. I don't marry just to one country. It's not. I think it's not fair. Well, for me, my situation, you know, is I like to put, you know, okay, why we don't do Irish with African? Jesus, okay, let's see how it tastes. Everybody love it. Why we don't do, you know, Italian with a Transylvanian tobacco? Let's see how it tastes. And then we use, I don't know, San Andres from Mexico. We use Arapiraca from Brazil, or use a Cubra Habano from Brazil as well. Let's try it. And it's just try and try and try. But maybe because I'm not that huge name that you have to do only your cigars, and I do cigars. I make many cigars. The production is big, but for other people. So I have the time to play with my own cigars, and that's what I have so many. You know, right now we have registered already 457 blends. So it's for a small company, it's a few of them. It's a few of them. So,
And are you the blender, or do you have a blender at the factory?
I come with ideas. I blend in my house. If I have it, if I don't have it, I just order the leaves. They ship to me, and I do something. But the main guy that I trust him with my life doing the blends, because he can tell me, this blend, maybe you do this, it's a little better. Even I blend and I roll, but it will be Oscar Cruz Arias in the DR. This guy is my age, but he been rolling since he was 7 years old, helping his grandfather, you know, doing the little Cheerios, the little cowboys, what is that? Doing this, you know, and going in a little donkey uphill to sell cigars, you know, on the weekends. So this guy been 43 years doing this thing, and he worked for Davidoff, he worked for every single one over there, you know, for many. And when I came with the idea, because we know since 2003, but we didn't know each other. It was just by phone and things like that. So we never put the face together until first time that I make it in person and say, you know what, I quit in everything, I go with you. It could be good or it could be bad, but you're crazy. And I said, what do you mean you're crazy? I said, yeah, man, sometimes I think that you should be a disgrace to the cigar community, because you come with some stupid thing in your head, and then you come at 11 o'clock at night. I go to bed. I cannot go to bed. I cannot sleep again. So I go to the factory. I do the blend that you told me, and it's genius. It's amazing. Nobody thought about it. What's wrong with you? You know, it's when I call him with my inside out cigar. My inside cigar is inside out because even the label is inside out. So it's 3 wrappers as the filler as the binder, a binder as the wrapper. So I was so happy because it's the only thing I have in my hand. I have 5 freaking leaves, and it's the only thing I could do. So I did that, and I called him. He named my dead grandmother, my dead grandfather, my mother, my father. He named everyone in my family. He called me for the second time a disgrace to the cigar industry. And it was 3 o'clock in the morning when I fallen asleep, and the guy called me and he said, I started a production right now. I said, what are you talking about? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. No, or the one that you did all the way around and inside out. Yes, I said, what are you anyways? I'm at the factory. I said, what the hell are you doing at the factory? Couldn't sleep. So I did a cigar. We started a production tomorrow. I said, okay, go ahead. Start the production. He said, man, I don't know how you come with these things. I said, I don't know. I cannot sleep. So I always doing something different. So,
how often do you get down to the DR now?
Well, since the pandemic, almost nothing, because it was impossible to be traveling. But normally when I go, I spend 5 to 7 days a month. But now because I have a construction business as well, I have 2 big projects to finish. It's one project, but it's to produce in this one. So when I finish that, I will start to go. Probably I will not be there in a couple of months. So I have to finish this for a good friend of mine, and he needs a house to live. So I better finish it. So
Yeah, you want to finish the project. That's it.
Yeah, I will finish and then go over there, because I will be going. Obviously, I have to go to Zimbabwe as well. Now having a sister factory over there. I have to go to Transylvania as well, Romania, and so I'm gonna be travel quite a bit. Then to Dortmund, of course, for the tobacco, I will be traveling over there and all of these things. But yeah, I like to be at least 5, 6, 7 days at the factory. It's good for the guys to see a face, not just to see a paycheck. And it's funny because you imagine that we have 2 or 3 new rollers, because depends the production, we have more rollers, and they don't know who I am, and they don't have Facebook or nothing, so they don't put nothing together. Or they see me like this, but they see me with the long hair, but they don't know that I have long hair because they see me like this. Yeah. So I go over there, I sit down, I start to roll cigars, and people say, who hired this guy? Who is this guy? Say, that's the guy that paid your salary, man. That's the owner of the factory. What do you mean he's the owner? He speaks Spanish. He said, well, he's too white. He speaks Spanish. Well, he's from Spain. Yes, he speaks Spanish. It's his language, But it's funny. So that's what I like to go, more often. But this freaking pandemic, it helped a lot to me. It was very bad for launches because they had to close or just sell on the curve. But for me personally, it was huge percentage in, the television or product sold. It was amazing because most people being home, they smoke more. People that they smoke like me, only cigarettes, and they home instead to smoke 6 cigars or half pack of cigars, now smoking 3 packs because they had nothing to do. So they switched to cigars.
Yeah.
And we were like crazy. So it didn't, to us, it was good. It was very bad. It was very bad for, for everyone, but for cigars, for factories, it was good. It was good.
So quick question. I overheard you mention that your wife is from Trinidad. Was that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Trinidad. Yes.
So is she involved in the cigar community at all?
Yes, she is. She is, and she helped me a lot. She does most, because now we are, when you guys were asking me about places that I am not just in the United States, I am in the UK, I am in China, Japan, and she's the one that, the orders come or whatever, and she deals with all of that. So she's the face of the business. I'm the guy rolling cigars, smoking cigars, and going to events. But yeah, she is. Good.
So that makes the family life a little bit easier, I imagine, because she understands the game. So I always have to imagine that if you are with someone and you're in the cigar industry and they're not in the cigar industry, you either have to have a very great love and passion for that individual, or you have to have a passion for cigars yourself. So that's just always been my philosophy.
And she smokes too, so that's a good thing. She's a lot. She's more into, I don't dislike them, I just don't smoke them. I made them, but flavor cigars. She loves tons of flavor cigars, or more like mellow cigars if it's just natural flavor for the plant. But she knows about cigar the same thing that me. It's funny, and she goes with me to any event, and we imagine that it's, I don't know, beer fest over here in Palm Beach. So we go to the fairground. By the time that I sell 10 cigars, he already sold 100. I said, well, I understand. You have something that I don't have. Yeah, yes, and yes. So you're going to sell more. But she's good. She's good. She's very good with the cigars. Yeah.
Let me take another quick break. I want to go through what's new in news and reviews on Stogie Press this week. And then when we come back, we'll go through some lightning rounds and learn a little more about the deeper part of Ishmael.
You got it.
So this week on Stogie Press, I've been super busy at work. So I apologize for not having many reviews up, but we had a lot of news. So let's just go quickly through I think I have one cigar review up, and that's the Drunk Chicken. So we had these folks on our show a few weeks ago. This is one of many in their line. This is called the Drunk Chicken Mother Clucker Box Press Robusto. This came in at a 92. This cigar right here is a Nicaraguan Habano with an Ecuadorian binder and filler. They come in 18 count boxes and they're $11.50 retail. I got some nice notes in this. I got cedar and cocoa. There was a nice floral and fruity sensations running through it. There was obviously some spice. There was some tanginess in it, but the tanginess was connected to the fruit, so it's not a negative point when you read it on this one. Sometimes they get tangy and it's not fruity and it's just kind of off-putting. There was some white pepper and woodiness. Burn-wise, this is the show if you missed it. Burn-wise, you can see the construction, get down to the burn, had a little bit of a wavy burn there, a little off burn there. Okay. Nice ash. It carried a nice long ash on it, even with those little off burns. I never touched it up along the way, so it just found its way as it went through. A decent burn cone. This ash dropped really twice through the whole journey. So I give this, kudos for that. So nice 92, very nice cigar. Get a chance, you can check out Drunk Chicken Cigars. News-wise, it was a little busy news week. I didn't write an article, and the first thing I want to talk about in the news, I didn't write an article about it because I think Drew Estate nailed it. So the FDA now is really probably going to ban flavored cigars, and they are pushing forward. That whole process is going to take quite a while because they got to go through comments, public comments, they got to go through reviews. This could take 2-3 years before this hits. But Drew Estate, they put out their own note on it. I put it out in my Facebook feed. You can read it. They hit the nail on the head. I mean, stop with the madness. This is an adult product, and why are you hammering one versus the other? The next thing I want to talk about is the chilling moose. Okay, so some of you might remember the chilling moose. So what happened here now is they've spawned off what's called the bull moose. All right, and the bull moose is an upgrade to that. They said it comes in 4 different vitolas. A Robusto Gordo, a Gigante XL, which is 6x70. I quite can't get my head wrapped around that. And a Gigante XXL, which is a 7x60. And these are all being made by the subsidiary of General called Forge Cigar Company down in Nicaragua. So it's going to be a blend with Nicaraguan Habano tobaccos derived from the country's rich volcanic soil. Also in the news, J.C. Newman has begun shipping their first batch of 2022 Yagua cigars. So if you've never had a Yagua, here's your chance to get them again. They're shipping 1,250 boxes of these. I love these cigars. I love them for a number of reasons, not just the flavor, but just the weird construction, the way they put it together, because they put the wet cigars in a bundle, they wrap them together, and you get all different shapes at the end because they don't press the cigars. The pressing happens in the bundle. So I've had one which was completely flat, another one that was kind of triangular, off-shaped, and it's just a very interesting concept that J.C. Newman does with this. And the cigar is a really fine cigar. Casa Cuevas Cigars has expanded their line now into Canada. So they've branched into the Canadian market. Macanudo. So let's open this one up. So Macanudo is returning with their Macanudo Gold. They have a very special Vitola this year. This is a limited edition size that's going to be available only this year to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Macanudo Gold. So you're going to be able to find these in shops. So this was originally released, this line was originally released back in 2002. And it's got a beautiful Connecticut shade leaf It's been like that for 2 decades, and it still, according to the company, remains the perennial favorite among many aficionados. So you can check that out. They're also using a Mexican San Andreas tobacco in it, along with Dominican Piloto Cubano and Mexican tobaccos in the filler. So interesting new cigar. I like that Vitola. I'm looking forward to trying that. We are also been Sinestro Cigars. Sinestro Cigars has hit the market hard. I guess they're going to make a splash at PCA with this one. So they've announced the La Fabrica series. The La Fabrica series is 5 different blends. The Butcher, and No Entiendo, Love Child. Can't read the other one. I'll get to in a second. And the Morosando. So each of these are different blends. They're bold blends. You can look at some of the fillers with Piloto Cubano, Nicaragua, Pennsylvania, Corojo, Ligero, Love Child's got Piloto Cubano, Pennsylvania, Olar, and Corojo in the filler, along with Cameroon in the binder. Very reasonably priced cigars. The Butcher's got Habano, Ecuador, Indonesian, Nicaraguan, and Dominican. The Thickest Thieves is a Habano San Andreas with U.S., Dominican, and Nicaraguan fillers. And lastly, the Morosando is made with broadleaf Criollo 98, USA, Dominican, and Nicaraguan. So very reasonably priced cigars, all in the $8 to $9 range. So they're really putting a focus on their factory here, on what they've been doing over the years. So kudos to our friends over at Sinestro. And Venture 1492 has revived the Chogi cigar brand. I believe I talked about this last week, but they came out with what's called the Dose 77. And this one here is going to be a sun-grown Corojo with a Dominican Republic wrapper. It's got a undisclosed binder, and it's got a bold blend of Havano 2020, Havana Verato Ebeo, Pilato Irjorto, and I'm botching this up. I could just see Ismael laughing at me trying to pronounce some of these names. and Corojo. So a very bold cigar. This is going to be a $12 cigar as it hits the market, and they're coming in 20 count boxes, manufactured at the manufacturer Rodriguez factory in Dominican. So that's the news. Oh, and we also put out the last week's show with our friends at Dallas Leaf. So if you've missed that show, you can go here and it'll take you to the link for that. I think that was it. I think we talked about lounges last week. Yeah, we talked about the Underground Lounge last week. So I'll have more lounge reviews coming out. So that's news and reviews on Stogie Press. So Ishmael.
Yes, sir.
When you sent me the pitches, you brought up a couple. You added a few other things, so you helped my lightning round a little easy because I can ask you these questions. So you have some interesting hobbies. Okay.
Oh yes.
You are a helicopter and plane pilot, a skydive instructor, martial arts instructor, and you love speed and adrenaline.
I love it. I love it. Everything I do is speed. No, I love if I'm in the circuit. Yes, I used to do it on the street, but no anymore. But yeah, I love everything with the speed. And skydiving, that's what I love it too, because
so you skydive yourself. You don't just instruct.
No, I skydive myself.
Jumping out of perfectly good airplanes.
Well, you have to see those planes, with duct tape and some of them you should see them. But yeah, I have about 60, 100 plus jumps and a few world records, and I do tandem jumps and instructor as well. So I coach people to jump and all that things. And I love it. I just love it. You just pick up your car and just go to the drop zone and spend the weekend over there, and it's fabulous. Yes. It's nothing wrong in the world, when you're doing that. And it's the good thing about the skydiving. Can you open for her before she knocks down the door? So the good thing about the skydiving is the same thing that is good about cigars. That's the money. You are a judge. You are a whatever you want. You can be an whatever trade you are. I don't care. You're a contractor, a carpenter, the guy picking up the garbage, the mail guy, the mail lady. That's the matter. It's nothing. Everyone is equal. When you're over there, their lives are in your hands, and your life is in their hands. And when you're smoking a cigar, who cares? You make 20,000 or you make 200,000. Nobody cares. It's just the same thing. So that's what I think that I love so much, both of them.
Do you have your own? Do you own a plane?
No, I used to have a helicopter, but I sold it long ago. I fly. It's funny because it's cheaper to rent it because you only pay tick time. So for instance, you just go and you go from here to the Keys, which is going to take you about, depends how fast you go, about an hour for Lantana. So, and you imagine that you pay $150 to $200 per hour. But then you can land, living in the airport for 2 weeks. You don't pay for that. You just pay for the time that you fly. So really, if you own the plane, you have to do an inspection every 50 hours. 50 hours looks like it's not a lot, but it's a lot. And later you just go every day for 1 hour or whatever. But it gets expensive. Then you have to pay for the, in the airport to have it over there and all of that. Yeah, maintenance is very expensive. So it's better to rent it.
Did you fly helicopters in the military?
As a matter of fact, I learned how to fly over here. I jumped from them, but fly helicopters I learned over here in Palm Beach Helicopter. That's what I did. Yeah, right. But yeah, I love it. Everything, everything that it has to be with the speed, it has to be with whatever, there has a little risk, but a risk that is to some point, it's very safe. People say, oh, you skydive. I say, listen, the most people that die skydiving is going from and through from the home to the airport. It's more people, die that way than skydiving. So, I only use my reserve, 3 or 4 times, almost 7,000 jumps. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And like, it's funny because when I was instructor, I was a tender instructor, I am, and somebody want to jump, they have to sign a waiver. And it's funny because in the waiver, at the end of the waiver, before you sign, it said, remember, shit happens. And some people look like, what's this? I said, I'm your instructor. I didn't do the waiver. If you want to sign it, it wasn't me.
The lawyer wrote the waiver.
Most probably, yes. Most probably, yes.
You must have a good lightning round question in your head. You got to take yourself off.
Let me open my door. That is raining. Come inside.
Got to take yourself off mute. There you go.
I have an awesome lightning round question that I've been sitting on here now for a minute.
All right.
All righty. So we said that you were Spanish military, correct?
Yes, correct.
Did you ever have opportunity to tag team with any of the forces over here stateside while you were serving for the Spanish military?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I became very good friends to today's day with people from here, Marines mostly. I've been with some navies as well, and I am part of a group over here. It's called Veterans of South Florida. So we get together,
okay,
and talk and all of that. Then I try to help and helping with my work and help if they need me. It's called the Great Team, that they do everything for vets. And you have installations. You are a veteran. You don't pay anything. They have like the red lights beds that you can, for your nerves, for your bones, and all of that. So I'm with those as well. And yeah, it's most of my friends they bet over here in the States, and we met. Funny because we met in different countries, like in Angola, and things like that is where we met. So it's It's fun, but I believe that you bond and it's forever,
Yeah.
The bond is forever. Yes, yes, it is. So with that being said, do you have a favorite military style movie that you like to watch? Excuse me,
What
that you
happened?
always watch?
You know which one I like, and not because he's good or because he's the effects or whatever. How is called in English? The Metal Jacket or something like that.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket. I like that, for instance, because it's kind of true what it says. But most of the other movies, I have to watch it by myself, because if my wife is with me, okay, tell me what's wrong. I say, well, that uniform is for the Navy, it's not from the Army. Okay, what's wrong? The guy, that gun is not that name. What's wrong? The pilot is in the wrong seat. What's wrong? So it's the things, And
You spend a lot of time dissecting the movie.
yeah, it's because it's so obvious, and you go like this, and they say, okay, here comes, Colonel from the Navy, and the guy is a sergeant from I don't know, from the Air Forces. You say, well, it's different, it's but it's a movie, but yeah, I like Full Metal Jacket. I like it. It's a few others that I like, but some of them they're realistic, but most of them is it's like when we watch movies, it's only like 2 or 3 movies from skydiving, and you see the guy is in free fall for 7 minutes of the movie. You say, well, free fall is about 55 to 60 seconds. How the hell this guy didn't it's supposed to be a big hole already, on the ground, because it's impossible, and the guy goes and keeps shooting on the air, and all of a sudden when they land, it's a pile of human bodies, so they're all dead. Well, no. No, and they talking, oh, I see you, man, I'm gonna shoot you, man, you cannot talk when you skydive, okay? And the canopy, yes, you can, but when you're going, 100 plus miles per hour, normally it's 120 miles per hour. If you go sit down or head down, you can reach up to 300 miles per hour. Guess what? You don't hear your breath. You're breathing and you don't hear yourself. So no, but yeah, I like them. Don't like everything. You ask my wife's, what is watch? And she's gonna say, it's the only thing I watch. I like it. I like action movies. That's for sure.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, we're past the hour. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm hoping we can get your word out there.
Thank you.
I know that my friend Lou had given me a few of your cigars. I'm gonna have to put those on my review cycle and get them out there.
Thank you.
I'm enjoying this one. It's burning a little wonky, but I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. So we're gonna give you the last word.
Okay, so thank you for having me, guys. It was a pleasure. I have fun, and it's all about it. You have fun, talk with friends, smoke a cigar, just share knowledge, and hey, it's always nice to relax. So it's good. It's good. And now I will go. Let me take the background. I will go with this guy.
Put your sidekick back on. Where's your sidekick there?
Right here.
There he is. Look at that. Joey Bianco in the house.
Yes, sir.
I'm honored that he's sitting on this show. Very good. Welcome,
yes, sir.
Joey.
Thank you.
So now probably we are gonna go probably no, we are going to a lounge.
There you go.
It's not probably we going. Yeah, of course. But yeah, it was pretty nice. I like it. Thank you for having me, though.
I want to thank all the sponsors and of course all the viewers now and those that are watching in the future for supporting Stogie Press and taking it to the nub. And with that, we're wrapping this one up. Next week, no show. I'm going to be in California at a friend's wedding, so I'm planning on just enjoying a weekend of just
good.
So we'll catch it when I get back. I forget who I have on.
Have fun.
We'll have announcements. So thank you everybody for joining.
Absolutely.
And we'll catch you on the flip side.